Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for joining us. It's Wednesday, the final show of the day, and actually I know a lot of people's favourite show, Beautiful Beginnings, where we try and take things back to basics for you. That show where if you are a little bit new to craft and, I don't know, any other time of the week you're a little bit, I don't know, hesitant to ask a particular question, this is the show to do it in. And also it's a great show for those of you perhaps who are a little bit more experienced but need a refresher on various things, various products. It's a great show to come in and watch, and again ask all of those questions. Lots to come on the show for you tonight. We've got nesting dies coming up, we've got outline floral dies, the large ones which you guys absolutely love, and a really great deal on some Duet Inkpads for you too. But also during the show, as you know, you guys have loved the Essentials Corner over the course of the last couple of weeks. So if we get enough questions coming through over the course of the show, we will certainly be looking to do that towards the end of the show this evening too. So if you've got any questions, fire them in nice and early, and then we will pose them to Craig towards the end of the show. Questions about anything. Doesn't have to necessarily be to do with what we've got on the show. Maybe you're stuck on something at the moment and you know you need an answer to it. Maybe you're in the middle of a project and you need an answer about something. Whatever it is, ask it, and we will put it to Craig a little bit later on in the show. And talking to the man himself, he is here, refreshed, revivified, and ready and raring to go. It's the Hottie Scotty. Should be a good show tonight.
It should be, yeah, it should be. So what I've actually done within this show on purpose is I've got one or two demos, but other than that, I've really just stripped it back. I've got key essentials, Ben, and I'm kind of relying on the questions. Beautiful beginnings, just if there is anything, as Ben just said there a moment ago, what we will do is we'll use the products that are on the show to then try and incorporate the answers for those questions there. But I didn't want to spend too much time being demo heavy with packs that I then pre-prep. I want to just leave it to you guys at home. So do, if there is any questions, as Ben was saying, do get them in.
Can I just say as well, lots of lovely comments coming through earlier on from your Crafty Stash show. No, passing the good comments on where, you know, credit where credit's due. That's two great Crafty Stash shows. Don't you doing another one tomorrow?
Well, no, we've got the two Debbies in tomorrow.
Oh, so you won't be in tomorrow?
I'm not in tomorrow.
Okay.
Unless anyone else goes down ill.
Then you'll be there again.
Then I might be in tomorrow with my third cape of the week.
Oh dear. Keep the comments and hellos coming through. We'll say hello. We've got Superstar Susie on the socials once again.
Actually, I don't know what that was.
What was that?
What was that?
What were you doing there?
It was like a bit of a whoop whoop with a whoop.
It sounded like you were going, hey.
Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. Who's put something in my water?
I have no idea. I'm not sure if that is water. Hi, Diane Cadman, who says hi and good evening, everyone. Hello. Lovely Lynn Harvey says hi, Ben and Craig, the amazing Crafters TV team, the wonderful social superstar and everyone. We've got Johnny and Charlotte in the gallery tonight. Hello. Hi. Mary Beth Doyle says hi again, everyone. Joining from Minnesota. Welcome, Minnesota. Sheila Falconer says good evening from Liverpool. Hello. Kirsty Lee says good evening, everyone. I think I will try to stay awake. I think I will try to stay awake for this show.
We don't bore you that much, do we?
It's probably.
We don't bore you that much.
Eleanor Fleck says good afternoon, all from Newtown, Pennsylvania. Hello. Phil Watson's in.
Hey, Phil.
Evening. Clarice Trudel says hi again, all. Oh, you didn't do it. He normally does his. Sorry,
I was taking out the blending tool.
Clarice Trudel's in. You normally do that thing from.
Trudel. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't hear the first name there. Sorry, who's tuning in and joining in?
Phil Watson.
Oh, hey, Phil.
Eleanor Fleck.
Hi, Eleanor.
And Clarice Trudel.
Hello, Clarice. Lovely to see you again.
Coletta Morris is in from Arkansas. And Faye Park says, hello, Ben, Craig, and everyone from Faye and Kent. Also, Susie says, was Craig barking at me? He definitely was. He definitely was barking at you. Right.
See, that or a wolf whistle there, Susie.
What's that?
See, that or a wolf whistle.
Wolf whistle. Listen, keep the comments and hellos coming in and fire those questions in. Susie, if I can get you on the case again to compile those like we did the other week, because it was really, really fun. It was you, Susie, wasn't it? It wasn't Rachel. Anyway, hopefully we'll get enough for Essentials Corner later. Hi to Nanny to the girl. It says hi for a beautiful day in central Wisconsin. So, shall we get started with the Duet Inkpads? We have got loads of great deals for you on the website. This one is a selection of 9 of our Duet Inkpads. So let me show you the ones that you're going to get in this bundle, and then we'll chat around these. 9-piece selection, should be $53.91 or $80.55. £10.91 you're saving, or $16.55. It's £34.40 platinum, or $51.20. Let's go through the colours, and then we'll chat around all of these. So. You are going to get Raspberry Ripple, oh, Sailor's Wake,
Sailor's Wake, Sailor's Wake,
Sailor's Wake, doo-doo, Soft Heather, Awakening Forest, Rosy Apple, Sunshine Glow, save my favourite one to last, Spring Buds, Midnight Mist, and
Sweet Clementine.
Inking never looks so good. So good. So good. So good. So 9 colours here.
Sweet Clementine.
So 9 colours here. You can see first off, straight off the bat, the design of these is very different perhaps to the ink pads that you've got previously. But let's ask the question, right? So beautiful beginnings, back to basics. You know, maybe I've already got some ink pads at home. I've got, you know, quick dry ink pads. I've got maybe some of my water reactive ink pads. Why do these look different, first of all, Craig? 2-part question. Why do these look different, and how are these different to ink pads that I might already have at home?
So they're a hybrid. They are a reactive water-based ink pad here. So you can then start to come in, you can do lots of your effects if you want to. You can bring in your water, you can start to spritz them like we're away to do. You can do your background. It does do what we would class as the faux bleaching, but what's really, really cool with this is then when we do a little bit of faux bleaching, we'll do in a moment, it actually kind of lifts the whole entire colour.
Yeah.
So you're left with the white cardstock at the back. But then because they are the hybrid, it means then you can start to layer upon each other. So if you want to then do, of course, your backgrounds with them, and then you can then come along and then you can stamp over the top of them, you can absolutely do that.
That's the one thing that sticks in my mind from when we launched these with Leanne, the way that they do layer up, layer after layer after layer.
Absolutely, yeah. You can keep going layer after layer after layer, and every time you do that layer, you're going to then, of course, still see that colour bursting through. Sometimes if you try and layer colours, what will then happen is then we'll come along, and then sometimes the colour that is underneath starts to then disappear because it's not that great to be layered, whereas with these ones, great way to be layering on top of each other.
Yeah.
You've got buildability, but then you can then do lots of different effects, lots of different backgrounds. You can then start to then ink through your stencils.
Wow.
You can then spritz through your stencils. I mean, look at that one there. So just a little square of your colour Duet ink pad, and then just spritz in and then just lift in. We're then going to be able to stamp through it. We can then do our water washes on the back as well. I mean, if you just want to do spot colouring, maybe you want to then do colour washes, maybe you want to pick it up with your paintbrush and water, you can absolutely do that. Again, doing that blend together, you get an incredible blend that works an absolute treat. Or even if you start to do things such as these. So these are just inking through your stencils, and then you even using your art liner.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were ready to say something.
No, I was going to ask a question in a minute, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. It's never stopped you before.
So if I'm a newbie tonight, right, and I may be thinking about getting some ink pads, this would be a good set of ink pads to go for, because from what you've been chatting about just then and what you've been saying, these are very versatile and can do lots of different things.
Absolutely.
So they're a good...
Ink with them, blend with them, do your backgrounds with them, you can stamp with them, you can go with powders on them. So yeah, very, very versatile in the ways, in the uses, in the layers. And the key thing with them being the hybrid one is the building up those layers. So you go with one tone over another, they don't sink and fade into each other. Every time you go with that next layer, if you start to create an ombre effect, each colour is really proud, it's prominent as well. But then you can then start to flip it on its head. Maybe you're going to go over with a couple of colours blended together, then you're going to put a stencil over the top, and then you're going to ink with a third colour or a fourth colour. So all these different levels, you're going to see the colours. They're going to do their job. They're going to be absolutely incredible. All you need to decide what colours do you want to do, what designs do you want to do, what background, what fun do you want to do, like we'll do in a moment.
Yeah, absolutely right. And just to chat about, I don't think you touched on this, so I'll ask you again anyway, because I know it was a two-part question and you answered part one very, very thoroughly. Just the design of them as well is very different, and what's the thought behind that?
Just to be a lot more ergonomically friendly when it comes to your hand. Now, in all honesty, I still use them in the normal way, just the way that I hold all my other ink pads. So I just hold them as I do just here when it comes to my hand. Hold them, grip them, and then just stamp them normally. But the actual design of them, Ben, is so that they nestle inside your hand. So if you want to then just have it nestled inside your hand, then it just means that you can come along. You can then, of course, ink up your stamp or your background or your area. But what you've got is you've kind of got two main points. You've got a larger open point for your bigger coverage. You've then got your smaller point as well for maybe just the minute little detail, maybe a little sentiment or something like that. So you can then use them for the best of both worlds. But it is about comfort in the hand. But just because they are that shape now does not mean that you can't use them still in the normal way, so to speak, because that's what I do.
Excellent stuff. We'll have a look at these in just a second then. Hi to Carolyn, who's joined us from Florida. Michelle Moore in Queens in New York. Jacqueline Bell is in from Northumberland, just up the road. Well, quite a way up the road, isn't it? Charlotte, our vision mixer, is from Northumberland. She wants to know, Jacqueline, where you're from in Northumberland. Let us know. Or don't if you don't want to. Do you want me to tell everyone that, Charlotte? Charlotte says, she says, I'm from Morpeth. That's what she said.
She did?
She did. Barbara R is in from Indiana. Beth Malone says, hello, crafty friends from a beautifully sunny upstate New York. Sharon Moffat is in from South Carolina.
Hola.
Kat Butt says,
Hey, Kat.
hi, Craig, Ben, and everybody. I'm loving these shows. It's so great to get refreshers. That's just what I mean. That's why these shows are so great. That's why Beautiful Beginners is good, because newbies can ask the questions and more experienced crafters can get the refreshers. Tim C says, hi, Ben, Craig, and the rest of CTV and all crafting friends. Cindy Funk is in saying, hi, Ben, Craig, CC crew, and all crafty people out there from Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. Lois is in saying, good it. Doesn't say that at all. Sounds like Porky Pig then. Good it.
Let me just.
Lois is in saying, good afternoon, everyone, from Ohio.
Ohio.
Marianne Rosie says, good morning, all. And Jacqueline is from Cramlington. That's 10 minutes from Morpeth, apparently. Did you
10
know that?
minutes?
10 minutes, Cramlington.
Not 9, not 11.
No, 10 though. Yeah. You're
On
like
average.
pretty much neighbours then, really, aren't you?
Everybody needs good neighbours.
I just had a question come in from Lillian. I don't understand this. Shall I? You right there?
Yeah.
Lillian says, I don't understand that question. I don't know whether I want to ask it or not. It's for you, Charlotte.
Oh.
I don't understand the question. What is this question? Is Morpeth a good place for getting balloons?
What?
I don't understand that question. What does that mean?
Is that a typo?
I don't know what that means.
Does she need birthday balloons?
I don't know. No, Lillian's from London, isn't she? I don't understand that question. Please explain. Oh, dear, it's going to be one of them shows, isn't it? We're nearly finished. Oh, no. Kathy says, hello all from Missouri. And also, Nalini D says, hi, Ben and Craig. Thank you for the envelope box demonstration. That was earlier. I followed it during the break and it worked.
Awesome. Brilliant. That's what it's all about.
That's what we're here for. Right. Are we going to do something with the Duet Inkpads? What can you show us?
Yes, let's do it. Let's make a lovely little card. We're going to do a 4x6 card. It's a little bit bigger than a 4x6 card. But what I've done is I've got my watercolour card here and I've cut this one to 4x6. Now I'm going to go in with some masking tape or stencil tape that I've got here. You can be using things such as you can use your low tack tape, but what you have to do is really take the tackiness off the back when it comes to our low tack tape. But all that I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a little bit of a design at an angle. So say this is just stencil tape, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to then come along and then just section parts off. So if I then take each bit and then work my way along, what we can do is then we can then take our last one.
Lillian, sorry, whilst we're watching Craig, we got it. Thank you. More puff, as in more puff, as in more puff for blowing up your balloons.
Oh.
And you say my dad jokes are bad. You say my dad jokes are bad. Lillian, terrible.
It's been a busy day. It's been a very busy day. Very busy day.
Busy day. Johnny just worked that one out. Thanks, Lillian. Sorry, we were a bit slow on the uptake. It has been a busy day, though. Anyway, sorry, back to you,
No,
Craig.
that's okay. That's okay. So I'm just going to go in my blending tool. Now, you can use your finger daubers if you wanted to really build up the depth of your inks, your Duet inks. So what I'm going to do is go in with my Duet ink pad, which is the Sailor's Wake. So I'm going to then really start to build up the intensity of that Sailor's Wake. I want that to be really, really strong. So I've gone into one, missing one, and then I'm going to go into the next one. And once again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to really build up that colour. Now, I'm not concerned at the moment about having any harsh lines or that. One, I can still start to blend them out. And two, what will then happen shortly is we're going to do a little bit of faux bleaching when it comes to each of these panels. So we're going to then go in with the blending tool. We're going to really start to build up the depth of this colour. I want it to be really strong. I'm not wanting it necessarily light in one area and blended out as it gets darker. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to keep it so strong. So let's keep going and adding our colour. And then we can then go into my last section. So once again, I'm missing my blank spot, and then we're going to go into the last one. So we're going to then go in and really start to layer it up. Because these stay open as well, if you want to come along with your embossing powders, you can do. But we can then take now the Sunrise Glow, and when it comes to the Sunrise Glow, I'm going to do exactly the same when it comes to these parts now that are still showing cardstock. And you know, you can, what I'm doing here is you can do it onto your multi-purpose. Because I'm going to spritz some water, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm using my watercolour card. And I'm starting to get a little bit of that Sailor's Wake because I've not cleaned up, but I was, a moment ago, I was like, oh, I don't want that, but actually, I kind of like the look that it's given me.
Interesting you see you using that tool as well, because obviously I think a lot of people when they bought the Duet Inkpads got the different brush, but it goes to show that you can apply this in all the usual ways, right?
Of course you can, absolutely, yeah. 9 times out of 10, Ben, my go-to is always the square blending tool, hashtag
It's a rectangle.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, you can be using the blending brush.
The sponges, the little eggs, could you use?
The sponge, the little finger daubers, yeah, they're going to work well. The little egg blending tools, they would work well. I just find for myself anyway, Ben, I am able to put a lot of force or pressure to build up that colour, and I can go quite heavy-handed, and that's also going to create that incredible intensity of the Sunrise Glow.
Yeah.
So you will just need to, if you want it to be really strong like I want it to be, you will just need to keep going back and forwards and just keep building up that colour. So you're going to go as far as you want to be when it comes to the brightness. So let's keep building it up, add the colour in, and then what we've then got is we've then started to create our stripe background. I'm not going to take those layers off just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my water spritzer. Now for your water spritzer, the closer that you spritz it, the more of the larger puddles that you're going to get. The further away you spritz it, you're going to get more of a fine mist. I like kind of like the in-between. What I like to do, Ben, is I just spritz into my hand.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
like the Harry Potter magic.
The Guardian Leviosa. So it's not Leviosa, it's Leviosa.
Leviosa.
So we're just going to then flick And then with these, because these are again your hybrid and they're still water-based, what we're going to do is we're just going to then keep that water activating. We're going to keep it activated and I'm just going to keep flicking that excess. So I'm getting a nice array of larger puddles as well as some of the smaller ones. I want to go in and just flick in a little bit more at the top and the bottom. The longer you leave it, the more that it's starting to then activate. So I'm just going to take a little bit of kitchen roll, and then I'm just going to dry my hands. So I'm not going to do anything there at the moment. What I'm just going to do is clean that up. And what we can then do is just leave that just a second or two longer to then start to react. And then you can get to a point, the longer you leave it, the more it's going to start to then lift all of that colour. But you can then stop it at any point with a little bit of kitchen roll. Or what's sometimes good to do as well, like at this point now, I'm going to stop the activating of that faux bleach. So I can either go in with my kitchen roll, or just go in with another piece of your watercolour card. And now you're not going to get any specific, proper design backdrop here. All that you're doing is you're just lifting up any of that colour and then lift. So what we can then start to do is then you can then start to see that I'm starting to get my strips and panel. I can then go and then I can spritz and then you can start to see that travel. Let them dry and then you can start to create your own background. So this is one earlier on.
Just been told as well that the bundle's actually sold out. Don't scream and shout. But you can get them individually if you want to do that, the 9 colours individually. So, yes, if you were going for the bundle, well done if you've got it. We'll flash up the individual items, $5.99 each. So the Sunrise Glow, $4.79, 716 platinum. And of course, well, one of them must have sold out, but you can get the majority of them on the web.
So that was Sailor's Wake and Sunrise Glow that I've been using. So if you want to know the ones that I was using, that was it. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to do one of my tricks that I love to do, and that is go in with some black strips. So I'm going to go in with just some black strips here. I'm then just going to then move that out of the way. Now you can either let that dry completely at room temperature, or then you can then come along with your heat tool. So what I'm actually going to do is let's give it a little bit of a blast, just because we're going to do a little bit more to it. So I want to fully set it. So let's just go over it with our heat tool here, and then we're just going to let that fully dry.
So if you're doing layer upon layer upon layer, you would apply, dry, Apply, dry, apply, dry.
Apply, dry, layer.
Apply,
dry,
layer.
Apply, dry, layer,
Apply, dry, layer. Apply, dry, layer. Apply, dry, layer.
Yeah, that's it. Each stage, let each stage settle, let each stage dry before you apply. And don't lie and miss out a section.
And how long do you need to dry it for?
Well, if you're going to do it at room temperature, maybe just about half an hour or so. Depends on, of course, the environment of your room. If it's a really warm room, it's going to dry quicker. If you use a heat tool, it's going to speed it up, of course. If you use a heat tool, there's a little bit more chance that you're going to start to bend and buckle your card. So you're just going to stretch and manipulate it. But the reason I like doing this is because this is so therapeutic.
There we go.
So what we can then just do is start to peel all of these off.
This looks good.
It looks good, doesn't it?
Looks good.
So we're then going to then peel that off, and then we're going to come along and then peel that off. So then what I'm going to do is if I come in with my glue, so I'm going to just put a little strip. Now you can go in with your black Classic if you want to, Ben, and then just draw a line if you want. But I like that little bit of tactile feel that you get by going in with a bit of cardstock to then just separate it. So
I love it when you create these backgrounds. So I've seen you do this before with like offcuts of your paper and stuff. It's so effective. I can't remember who it was now. Who was it? Someone will tell me in the comments. But we had We had some washi tape on in a bundle last week, and somebody was doing the same. One of our amazing team, who I've forgotten, it was so good I can't remember who it was, but creating backgrounds with like
Washi tape.
Was it Michelle?
Washi tape.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so effective.
It really is.
To create your own backgrounds.
It really
This again
is.
is another great case in point. Maybe I don't know, you need something bespoke, or you need something a little bit different. What a great way to create your own designs.
It's nice, and you know,
Yeah.
yes, it's really good doing it with cardstock or pattern paper that I love to do, Ben, but there's something, I'm not going to say more creative, but there's something about inking up your cardstock, full bleaching it with your water spritz, cutting your strips of cardstock, and then just going from scratch from a completely blank piece of white cardstock, and then just starting to layer stage by stage. So as I say, the ink, the blend, the spritz, and then of course the strips.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go across, and then we're just going to layer these ones up. So we're just going to then press.
Midnight Mist is the pad that sold the bundle out. I'm being told. Yeah, Midnight Mist. So Rosy Apple, Awakening Forest, Sunrise Glow, Spring Bud, Sailor's Wake, Raspberry Ripple, Soft Heather, and Sweet Clementine are available for you. So where are you, Midnight Mist? Come here. You are out of the bundle. Whilst we're just watching you, I can read a few more comments coming through.
Go for it.
Lillian says, okay, I'm going to go sit quietly in the corner, hanging my head in shame for having made a joke worse than Ben's dad jokes. Lillian, we appreciate you. We like the humour. It's just as much as you guys love my dad jokes, really. Lynn Harvey says, Ben and Craig, I absolutely love you two together. You definitely cheer me up after a tough day.
Oh,
Thank you, Lynn.
bless you. Thank you.
Hopefully your day wasn't too tough.
Hopefully not.
Shirley Ann
Hopefully not.
says, hello everyone, I'm back for another great learning experience. And Shaddai says, I have my grandson over. Granddaddy had to step out, so he is in my room and having competition with my programme and his iPad. Boy, oh boy.
Ooh.
And Colleen Passardi says, I'm watching you in the school car pickup line, picking up my grandkids, Riley and Gunnar. Well, Colleen, hi to Riley and hi to Gunnar if you're still watching. Howdy. Let us know if you're at the front of there, because yeah, you queue. I've seen that on like TV shows. Like the cars queue, don't they, into the school? and then the kids
And they do carpool, don't they?
Huh?
Carpool, the carpool.
What?
The carpool.
Oh, carpool.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, like, you know, remember, like one mum will take a load of different kids, like family, friends and that.
Oh, I
so
see.
So instead of, you know, like 4 different families, 4 different mums or dads taking their kids to the school, they'll all carpool into one car.
Yeah.
And do it that way.
Ah,
Yeah, over here, that's it. Just open the front door and say, kids, off you go.
yeah. Come back when you've learnt something.
Yeah, yeah. I do love the American way of life. Although I know our perception here is probably not the way that it is across there, and then vice versa. But yeah, carpooling. It's not something that we really do here. Never did it at my school anyway.
Actually, we just block people's drives. He just said, yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
We do
Yeah,
that.
they do that. Yeah, they certainly do that.
Quick.
So once I've done my strips here, Ben, all that I'm going to do, I can then, of course, come along with my guillotine, or just on the back of it, we're just going to come along and then we're just going to snip all of that excess away. So we're just going to snip them all away. We're just going to neaten up all of these edges. We're just then going to work our way around to the top for the last ones. We're just going to then go into here, and then we're left with our super, how cool is that? So
It's so
well,
good. I love it.
in my opinion, it's really, really cool. So I'm going to come in now with my black matte cardstock. So my watercolour card, I cut that to 4x6, and then my black matte cardstock, what I've done is I want to say just a little bit shy of 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Matte and layer that onto the black. Just going to use my double-sided tape, because you could use your tape runner. Don't forget as well, done glue school yesterday, so if you need another full recap on your glues and adhesives, I did touch upon the tissue tape that I use, because it is one that I use most of the time, and I know it's what I get asked about, so I did touch upon it yesterday. But we're just going to then go in, we're going to add that. I've got my card blank that I've got here, so my card blank's about 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. But what I've done is I've actually created it from a 7x7 card. So I've taken a 7x7 card blank, and then I've created my own 4.5 by 6.5 card blank, because I've done it so that it's a tent fold. So we've got the tent fold that it's opening at the top.
Yep.
That can then go into there. And then giving myself a nice little light white matting layer to frame, because then that's pulling in my strips that I've got here. And then what we're going to do, and actually I should have done this before I stuck these on, but I'll show you the one that I've done here. My favourite little hello die that I got from last year's advent calendar.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go, I've done a drop shadow white onto black. And then what I'm going to do within this one there is I'm going to set that in and press that in here. And I want to kind of have that continuation, that flow. So I actually should have done this before I attached this layer here. But what I'm going to do is, if I come along, and then I'm just going to use my pencil just to draw a light line down the side here. I'm going to snip that off. We're then going to add my tacky glue to the back. That then we're going to bring in, we're going to go right to the edge.
Okay.
Press that in.
Yep.
And then that other end, what we're then going to do is we're going to bring down there, so we've kind of got that continuation of the word hello, or whatever sentiment you choose to use.
Like it.
So then that can then come down, bring that into there, hold that for a second, press that in.
We've made Susie's day anyway. She says, I've been looking for that little hello die. I knew I had it and could not for the life of me figure out where it was. It says, thank you so much, Craig. Mystery solved. That's where it's from, is it?
That's where it's from.
Yeah.
Last year's advent calendar. So that's what we've just done there. And then if you want to go a little bit lighter, and then with the hello, go with the black on the front and then the white on the back, you can do that. But two same concept cards, the way that I followed the direction with my original one, but by just changing, you know, a drop shadow, just changing it, or maybe going a bit lighter or a little bit heavier when it comes to the ink pads, you can do that. But just giving you that spritz with the water and then creating that effect. And then don't forget, instead of taking the excess water off when it comes to your kitchen roll, just use another piece of watercolour card and then just damp it off, so that all that excess, that's now a background that I can be using on another project.
Nice one. Shaddai says, nice, clean and simple card, Craig. Good evening all. And the Bonnie Lad Duo, says Mistress Dow. I like that. The Bonnie Lad Duo.
Bonnie, Bonnie Land.
What?
Bonnie. Yeah, I try, thanks to Take the High Road. I'll take the high road and you'll take the low road.
And I'll be in Scotland before ye. On the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
I'll take the high road and I'll take the low road. I'll be in Scotland before you.
Great techniques, Craig, says Clemmy Strudel, and very cool, says Cindy Funk. Wow, what a stunning card, Craig. I love the colours, says Tim C. I'll read a few more comments out. Don't forget, the bundle's gone. However, we do have the selection of Duet Inkpads for you. We won't flash up all the details. You'll find them on the website, but the Sunrise Glow is still in stock. That is... where is it? It'll be the last one. I bet you it is. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, it's there. Sunrise Glow. And then you've got all of these other colours as well. So you've got Spring Buds, Soft Heather, Sailor's Wake.
Sailor's Wake.
Sailor's Wake, Sailor's Wake.
Enya, wasn't it?
Huh?
It was Enya.
That was Enya?
Yeah.
Loved Enya.
I liked Enya.
She was in a band called Clannad, if you remember, and they did all the music. Remember for the Robin Hood TV series? It used to be on ITV. Mm-hmm. Robin, the Hooded Man. And that's where she then made a big break from that band Clannad. Anyway, don't know why we're talking about
Sorry,
Enya.
that was my fault there.
Yeah. Why are we talking about Enya? Oh, yeah, Sailor's Wake. Awakening Forest is available. We've also got your Rosy Apple. And then I think the one we haven't shown is Sweet Clementine.
Du, du, du.
Inking never looked so good.
So good.
So good. So good. £4.79 or $7.16 is the price individually for those if you are a platinum member. Hi again, Evelyn Kiefer from sunny Colorado. Colleen Pasali says, Riley and Gunnar were happy to hear you said hello, and they say hello back. Well, hello back again. Hi also to Jessica Stricker, who says, I love the black strips. It does make it pop. Carlene says, hi everyone, I was able to watch Craig's demos earlier. Watching a 2-year-old is lots of work. Well, I mean, yeah, kudos to you if you're looking after little ones and watching as well. Good work. Kim Fisher joins us from Wiki Watchy in Florida. Sherry Miller's in from Oregon, and Catherine Baker says, oh good, you're back on. Thank your tech team at CC for getting YouTube back on. Charlotte, actually, can you send in a lot of love to Charlotte? Because she was, whilst we were kind of, you know, refreshing ourselves, Charlotte was very, very busy behind the scenes with the tech team, apparently working very hard to get things sorted. I think she was like, turn it off and on again, I think. I don't know, I'm not technical. But thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Charlotte.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Yes, Catherine says, you're good, you're back on. Thank you to the tech team. I'm just here for a few minutes before the puppy trainer arrives. I will watch the show in full a little bit later on. What? You right there, Craig? What's that? Oh, nothing. Right, it's time to have a look at what I'm going to call tonight, because he is the hero today, Craig's tool. Yes, the hero tool. He stepped in today, isn't he? He's the man. And this is the Centura Pearl 8-piece collection. There are 80 sheets in total here of 8 different colours of your Centura Pearl. 10 sheets in each of the 8 sets. Normally $31.92 or $55.92. Platinum price. Core blimey, Governor. £19.20 or $32. Incredible value for money. Hey, and listen, if you were watching our Crafty Stash show a little bit earlier on, and you now kind of think, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to make some construction pieces, start making my own cards, you absolutely need some Centura Pearl in your life. So you're getting 8 packs. And here they are, 10 sheets in each. So you've got your mint green, that is Charlotte's favourite colour. Stop me when we get to your favourite, Johnny. Lilac. Red. Oh, he says keep going. Baby blue. Do. Turquoise. Oh.
Mine.
That's yours, is it? Christmas green. Oh. Dark chocolate. I know what Johnny's is, and it's just reminding me the exact colour, because I haven't got it in a packet, but I now know what it is. Ready? Bam, 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 ba-da, isn't it? Bam, 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 wow, wow. Deep purple.
Deep purple.
Yeah, Johnny's a bit of a rocker, if you didn't know. He's multi-talented, actually. Plays the guitar, plays the trumpet, does Irish dancing, and a lot more. Do you know what, actually, funnily enough, I know we chatted about this quite a while ago. Where was it now? I've got it somewhere, the video of Johnny doing his Irish dancing. I've got it. It's on my phone. Yes. So, are we going to show it on air? Johnny, they're going to share it in the WhatsApp groups. And I put it on WhatsApp, and then we'll maybe show it. Nobody wants to see that, do they? No. You guys are having too much fun tonight, says Sherlad Telsford. It usually happens when we get together, especially on a Wednesday. Hey everyone, just checking in whilst at work, says Blackie S. Lovely to have you with us. Also, Kim says, I was paddling in Loch Lomond about 4 weeks ago. It was cold, and a cygnet came to join me. Well, there you go. We just swanning around, Kim.
Oh.
Cygnet's a baby swan, isn't it? Nicolette says, hello Ben, Craig, CC staff and all you great crafters from Las Vegas. You are all so talented. Thank you.
Oh my God, have you seen the sphere? The MSG sphere in Las Vegas?
What?
Madison Square Garden have got their new, it's the sphere. It's like an arena, so to speak.
Oh yeah?
But it's like just a sphere, a big circle. It's all like LED screens and everything. Have you not seen it? Oh my God, it was you two done their very first.
Oh, no, I have seen it.
Yeah.
Yes, because I know what you're talking about now. Yes, because
Yeah.
you two did the concert and all everybody was talking about was this amazing screen behind them.
Yeah. And then on the outside, they can do funny things like an emoji, like winking and stuff like that. So it's all like the whole of Las Vegas, and there's just this winking emoji and stuff like that. It looks awesome.
Is that a thing that's set to stay then, is it? Or
Sorry?
what is that a thing that's set to stay, or is it like is it a permanent thing?
Sorry?
Is it a permanent thing?
Yes, it's a permanent thing, yeah. Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Pardon?
Yeah, no, it's a permanent thing. I think they've been building it for a couple of years. But yeah, it was, it just looks incredible. Because it's Madison Square Garden, isn't it, that have it?
Madison Square Garden.
Yes, I know Madison Square Garden's in New York, but Madison Square Garden, as in a company, it's them that has it. Yeah, it's called the MSG Sphere. Yeah. Sorry, guys, we're just having just a little argument here against ourselves here.
A few more comments, and then we'll do the Ornate nesting dies. Lillian Kwok says, "I'm bracing myself for the day the Fuchsia collection launches." I mean, can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
How many times will we be going back to the Fuchsia that day? That would be hilarious.
I don't know if I've got any shows with that.
We'll make sure it's me and you. Come on.
Oh, I need to.
Hello also to Colin who says, "Wicked Sphere in Vegas." Wicked Sphere.
Yeah.
Ramona says, "Hi, I'm just tuning in from Florida. Late to the party. Sorry about first Leanne and then Sarah being under the weather, but it's always a pleasure to watch you, Craig, and also Ben." Well, thank you, Ramona. Do you know what? There's like quite a few people are ill at the moment, actually. It's like a few bugs and things going around. But yes, we wish all the best to Leanne.
Craft your stash with Craig.
Yeah. Sarah is actually on the moment. We did see her in between shows.
Yeah, she came in.
Christine Mahoney says, "Hey, bestie boys. I'm late to the party. Sorry, we'll let you off as it's you." And also, Hannah says, "Craig, I heard you were Craftman last week and figured..." Oh, Craig heard you were Craftman last week and figured he'd one-up you by coming to the rescue 2 days running. Stand aside, Craftman. I'm Crafty Man. You're Crafty Man. Because I was saying I was a superhero last week because I came in to cover Jan. So I was saying I was Craftman, and everyone was like, "No, Craig's Craftman." I was like, "No, he's not Craftman, he's Crafty Man." Yeah. So, but you've definitely won because you've come in 2 days on the bounce now, have you?
Not that I'm doing this for like patting the back.
It's not a competition, is it?
It's not a competition. You know, people have been unwell here, but I covered with Jan at Hobbymaker on Sunday.
Yeah.
She was under the weather. And then, Leanne yesterday, Sarah today, which they're all I know Jan was a Hobbymaker today, Leanne's been in the building, Sarah was in the building at the later end. So I think, you know, when you just feel a bit, ooh. And
Just as much as you've covered for everyone, all the other team would cover for you as well, wouldn't they?
Of course they would, and I know they would, and that's why I would jump at the chance to cover for anyone if I can.
Yeah. Loads of Sphere chat coming in as well now, so thank you for that. Holds 20,000 people, says Deborah, and the Sphere is so crazy awesome, says Carol Garwood Beard. Can't wait to see it in person. And Nicolette says, "Craig, I've seen the Sphere. It is awesome, and it definitely stops traffic." That's the winking emoji face.
The wink, yeah, it's that winking emoji face. That's the emoji that they use, yeah.
Anyway, back to crafting. Back to the craft. The Ornate nesting dies, 4-piece collection. This 24 dies in total. Should be £60 or $67. Look at your saving tonight, £14.96 or $12.80. Platinum price is £36 or $44. These are incredible. Again, nesting dies, so super versatile, so super handy to have these. Because again, they are cards in their own right, they're frames in their own right, they're toppers in their own right, and also having designs like this, you will find that you'll be able to use them across a whole host of different collections. These aren't just kind of like set and you think, "Oh, I'm going to use this with one particular collection." You'll use these right across your crafty project. And the other thing I love about this collection, not only do you get a beautiful frame and then the inner detailing, but you get the corners here as well, which I think is fantastic. And you've actually got 4 different designs of those within the set, so again it makes it just so much more versatile. It gives you a lot more sort of crossover when it comes to the different dies that you've got in this set, and it works out that you're going to get in the rectangle, you've got your opal, and then you've also got the beautiful topaz in there as well, once again with those 4 little corner dies, and then we also give you your squares. ruby. And this one, I think, is my favourite, the quartz. I love the design of the central element in that one. But again, loads of opportunity with these. £36 is incredible. $44, also a brilliant price if you are a Platinum member. So yeah, jump in, grab these, all available individually for you as well. Don't forget too that we want your questions, please. Any questions you've got, because we've got Essentials Corner coming up in around about an hour's time. And if we don't have questions, it's going to be a little bit, you know,
It's just going to be corner.
it's going to be, we'll just be sat in the corner.
No one puts us in the corner.
Nobody puts us in the corner, Craig. So get the questions in, please. Joyce says, hi, everyone. I love all of Craig's crafty tips. Carol says, you two are so much fun to watch. Thank you. Teamwork, says Deborah Spencer on Facebook. And Cindy says, I love watching Craig and Ben. They make you smile. Thank you. Let's we're gonna have a play with these. Charlotte was off for a break.
She was.
She's lining a break up and everything. Charlotte was.
She was gone.
We're gonna look at these first, and then we'll have a break in a second. So, what can you show us, Craig O'Baker?
Right, let's show you a few finished samples here.
Yeah.
Because you've got that layering aspect. You've got that outer frame, which then will cut out your card to create that framework. So you don't need to do anything different or add anything to create that aperture. But you can then frame that inner detail die.
Yeah.
You know, you can of course come along and then sandwich with your acetate. You can then create the actual box frames with them. You can see, you know, even lovely little easel cards that you've got here. But then if you're then keeping it, you know, quite simple, and even though it's a larger card, but keeping it simple, you can turn them into shakers. Doesn't it look so cool? So cool. But then if you go in with your tan colours, your craft colours, it looks really effective. And then just really simply, your purple with your shedless glitter card. And then it's a nice way, of course, to use them within your cards as well.
And I'm guessing with the rectangle and the square, you can mix and match over the individuals and the inner detail as well, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So all that I've done here, at the moment, I'm a big fan of just doing tone on tone, white on white. So I've got a 5x7 card blank. So this is all white multi-purpose. It'll look really, really smart with your Centura Pearl. But I've got a piece that's 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. And I'm matting layering that onto another piece of white multi-purpose, which is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. We're then going to go on to my card blank, which is 5x7. So again, tone on tone, creating that white work. But what you can start to do as well, create depth as if it's like a chipboard. So I'm going to go in with another piece of white multi-purpose, but I've put our double-sided adhesive sheets on the back that we had on Glue School yesterday, and I'm going to use my die to die cut that out. Now for this one, when it comes to the frame, it cuts out, but it also cuts the aperture as well. You've got your framework in there, so it'll cut completely out your card. So because we've got a lot of detail, usually I wouldn't need my metal shim, but because I've used my double-sided adhesive sheets, I've got the cardstock, I've got the adhesive layer, and I've got the non-stick backing, I'm just going to go in and I'm adding my metal shim in as well. So we're just going to then line and layer. I'm going to do my full plate configuration with the frosted magnetic top plate. That one we're going to run all the way through. Now the next layer we're going to cut as well into the white cardstock with the adhesive. Now I could have popped that in the middle and die cut it all at the same time, but then that would have been a lot of pressure, a lot of cutting points. So to make sure that I get a really nice refined cut, I'm just doing each layer at once. So I can then come along and then pop my die out. So just start by popping it out and then taking it out. I'm just then going to take all of these out, and I'm just going to make sure that a lot of these have popped out, which they have done. So we can see all popped out, all fine. And just the ones that have got little bits of card in them, what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that I take all these out. That back in there, that's obviously the back end of the non-stick. That's all still cut though, but because of the material, sometimes you won't necessarily always cut through the non-stick sheet, although the cardstock's cut, so that's why you're still seeing a lot of that back in. But if I then pop these little bits out here, these last little bits, and then what we can do is we can then take that inner layer that I had. So we can take that inner layer and do the same again. So going in with our metal shim, let's go in with this one, and that one's just going to fit and no bore. As I said, I could have popped this in the middle and die cut them all at once, but then that's just a lot of pressure on the cutting points. It would have worked, but it's just about giving your Gemini that little helping hand as well, taking that little bit of an extra time just to do the 2 passes, one with the outer frame, one with that decorative centre. I'm going to make sure that all these bits are out, so I'm going to cut that again. So as this one comes out, we're then just going to release that. And these ones here, because each of these layers, Ben, that these pop out, these come out, you can get so creative. Whether it is incorporating your cardstock, maybe it's going to be just using block cardstock, your linen, that Centura Pearl would work an absolute treat as well. Or you can start to do your inky backgrounds. I mean, if I bring in, we could have done that. If you ignored the hello, we could have then popped that over the top.
Oh, yeah,
and then we could have had maybe a topper or a stamped image or something within the middle there. So it works in conjunction with many, many different backgrounds. So I'm just going to come along and then pop this one out here. So let's take that out. And then as you can see, these have all die cut perfectly. So I'm just taking the ones that I've got all the little bits of cardstock. I'm just popping them out because I want them to be released. And then all that I'm going to do, Ben, is I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to cut another one like that and another one like that, both white multi-purpose, and both have got the double-sided adhesive sheet on the back.
Good morning to Mary Pat, who's joined us. Also to Sensational Sky. Jossie says, hey all, I'm in sunny California.
Nice.
What are you doing there? Are you on your holes? Let us know.
No holidays.
Crafty Stacey Lou says, hi Ben and the Hottie Scotty.
Hi.
I'm coming to see you, Ben, in Newcastle for Sarah's book release. Oh yes, that is happening, isn't it? On the 17th of October, I think it is. So not long away at the Biscuit Factory. I mean, I'm just excited to be going to a place called the Biscuit Factory, if I'm being honest with you.
Do you get biscuits?
I don't know. I've never been there before. I'm assuming it is what it sounds like, right? I haven't been there before, Charlotte. I wasn't there before. What is it? Oh, it's an art gallery. Why is it called the Biscuit Gallery? Oh, the Biscuit Factory. Oh, because it used to make biscuits, but it doesn't make biscuits anymore.
Go figure.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you there, though, Stacey Lou. It's going to be amazing. From what
I might
I've
need
heard.
to buy a ticket.
Huh?
I might need to buy a ticket and come and see you.
I'll get you in the back door, mate. I'll get you in the back door.
I might be covering. Am I on that night?
I don't know. It's a Tuesday or a Thursday.
Oh, I'm on, am I?
Are you?
I'm in here.
Oh, you're in. Charlotte's not in.
Can
Charlotte,
go.
you can go. You can come and ask some questions from the front row. Yeah. Be good to see you. You can get my autograph.
I'll hold the fort, Ben.
Because you're crafty man. It'll be in again. The backlight will be up. The craft light going, Craig, save us.
I'll put my cape on.
He'll put his cape on. Catherine says, apparently they want to build one of those spheres in London.
No, I did hear that,
Did
yeah.
you?
I did hear that, yeah.
I'm still not 100% sure actually what it is, but I saw the picture and I'm just sort of going along with you guys. Going, oh yeah, it looks amazing.
It's just like a 360 arena. It's all full, it's just a full sphere globe of LED screens.
Sarah Brown says, hi guys, I'm watching. Sarah, I mean, thank you so much. It's now 4:45 a.m. Thursday in your fuchsia. Haha. Did I hear there is a fuchsia collection? Sign me up, lol. Yes, there is a fuchsia collection in the fuchsia. Not quite sure the launch of that date, but when when it does, you'll know about it, believe. And also, Crafty Chimp says, good evening, peeps. Just in from work. I'm de-stressing with the Hottie Scotty and the Singer-Dinger. That's me, Charlotte. The Singer-Dinger, it says here.
Oh, Singer-Dinger.
Yeah, what did you think? What do you think I said?
I don't know.
Singer.
Well, I did
I sing a little bit,
thought
don't I?
you said stinger.
Like a dinger, as in.
Your Stinger-Dinger. Because I was thinking of Sting, the wrestler, because I know that you like Sting. And when you said Stinger Dinger, I just thought, I was like, oh! That would tingle.
Oh dear, thanks Craig for the spritzing tip, says Christine Baker. Whew. And Cindy Richmond says, Ben, I love seeing the sign language, thank you. Oh yes, yes, thank you. Craig is doing a fantastic job crafting. What did you say, Charlotte? Yeah, there you go, you know, doing a little bit when I can. Turtle, you saying that? That's turtle. That's the sign for turtle. Well, I don't know why you're saying that in my ear. I learned a new one today as well because I follow this guy on Instagram. He's really good. He's, the Deaf Chef, he's called. There's a new sign every day. Learned the one for giraffe today. Giraffe.
Oh.
Giraffe. Giraffe. Giraffe.
Giraffe.
Yeah. Holiday.
Thank you.
Excited. Excited giraffe.
Have you been
Huh?
Have you been watching Bake Off?
Pardon?
Have you been watching Bake Off? Great British Bake Off.
Is it back on?
2 weeks ago it started.
No, it never did.
Yeah, it did. It was on last night, Tuesday night. Alison Hammond's the new presenter.
No, I haven't been watching it.
No, the only reason I was asking is one of the contestants has got a what would you say, sign language, an interpreter with her.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The sign language. So they're with her as well. So it was just why it came into my head there. But yeah, it started 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Well, I did not know that. I wish I had because I love Bake Off. I have to tell Daisy because it's one of her favourite shows. It is.
Is it?
Bake Off, yeah. It's on about 8 o'clock at night, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So she'll be able to stop up and watch it now because she's got a later bedtime.
Oh, has she?
Yeah.
What is it now?
Well, 9 o'clock now, so she'll be able to watch it, won't she?
Oh.
And she brushes her teeth in the last break, and then she can go straight to bed after
So, at what age, you know, no kids, you and Johnny do, what ages does their bedtime, like, increase? And is it by an hour or half an hour?
Oh, no, it's gone up by quarter of an hour.
Right.
So she goes to bed at 9. George is, well, that's on a school night, and on a school night, George is supposed to go to bed at 9:30, which I don't know if that's like too early for a 15-year-old, but that's what it is. It early?
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Is that you tell him he has to go then, or he goes then off his own
Oh,
back?
well, that's what. So Daisy goes when she's supposed to go at 9. 9:30, he's supposed to go, but every night I have to go up and tell him. Then they're allowed to stay up till 10 at the weekends, both of them.
I used
I
to
think
love it.
9:30 is early enough for a school night. Or is that me being too strict? I don't know. But that's the thing as well, Johnny's just saying, like, normally I'm going to bed at like about 9:15, 9:30, so, you know, is what it is. What time did you used to go to bed when you were 15?
Oh, gosh, no, do you know something? I'm going to say the same as what Charlotte just said there. I used to go when I wanted.
Did you actually?
Yeah, but I was never one that went really, really late anyway. And now I'm on my way to say what Johnny just said. I liked going to bed. So yeah, there was never really a struggle. Never really a struggle. And then even if I did go to bed late, I was still quite an early riser. I would wake no problem and get up no problem. So it was fine. It was fine.
I mean, when I've tempted to turn his lights off and brush his teeth and go to bed, I'm not convinced that he isn't then looking at his phone or doesn't fire his computer back up later on after we've gone to bed. But I kind of feel if we've gone to bed, then our lights out, all lights out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but there we go. I remember when Craig, what? I'm not going to read that out. I don't know what that means. Carry on. Lillian. Lillian's writing in riddles tonight. I don't know what this has got to do with anything, but I'll read it out.
Know.
Lillian says, I remember when Craig was telling us about his big deck in his garden. Is it still...
John Scott at Nylon, he constantly goes on about my big deck.
What?
Yeah.
Does he?
He likes my garden. John Scott, yeah.
How does he know your garden?
Because he follows me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I'm in with the slabs, me. Yeah, no, he follows me. So whenever, if I was down there with Sarah last week, he always tells the viewers, we've got really nice garden, I've got big deck in and everything, yeah.
Ah. Is it still all in one piece? And
it's still in one piece. It's a bit of a mess. But yeah, summer's gone.
Yeah. Another summer gone where we didn't have the housewarming parties at yours or mine or Charlotte's.
No, I know.
Next year. Next year, guys.
No, Christmas time.
Christmas party outdoors.
Well, fine, you're not going to be invited then.
Huh?
You're not going to be invited then if you're going to turn your nose up.
Anyway,
how cool's that? How cool's that? That's ready for you to come along and decorate. You can come along with your sentiments. If you've then got, of course, your script stamps, then of course you can use that. If you've, can you imagine even something like your little hello die, just in the middle there, a couple of your white flowers in the corner. But what I've done is to really make that thick, to make it stand out and to make it really look 3D. Each of these ones here, what I've done, Ben, is I've die cut them twice and I've overlaid them bang on exactly over the top. So they give you that bit more of a thicker chipwood effect that you've got here. But look at that, white on white. How fab does that look? It's like a pre-embossed design that you've got. And then, as I say, a little bow, maybe a little sentiment, a couple of little flowers. It's ready now for you to then take this idea and then add and finish off with your own inspiration and ideas.
Absolutely fan-blooming-tastic. Thank you, everyone, for all of the love coming through. Sarah Brown says, oh, my gosh, you guys are so funny. Hopefully bringing the laughs and the inspiration tonight. And Cindy says, Ben, you are so awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. The Ornate nesting dies. Very quickly, we'll just have a look at all of the nesting dies you're going to be getting here within this set. 24 dies in total. 24 dies you're going to be getting in total. Should be £60 or $67.80, so not enough, $68. £36 to $44 if you're shopping in the US and your platinum. That's your quartz. So again, you've got your beautiful frame, your detailed inner die, and then you've got all of those beautiful little corners as well. So there's so much versatility, lots of different ways and combinations that you could use these in. That one there is your ruby. Ruby. Whoa. And then we go to your rectangles as well. That one always reminds me a little bit of the back of a playing card. You've got your topaz there, again with those 4 different corners. And then the opal as well. Mary Shaw on YouTube says, okay, my husband Rick is laughing so hard. He had just come into the craft room. Now he knows why he is laughing from my craft room when I watch Crafters TV.
Go on, Rick. Get in there, Rick.
Yes. What's he doing? What's he doing? What is going on? We're going to have a break, a long overdue break. And when we come back, more demos. Oh, keep the questions coming in as well, because we want to go and sit on the sofa in about 37 minutes. No, but we do like to sit down at the end of Beautiful Beginnings. We like to sit down, but we need questions, and I'm aware that we haven't had many sent through today. So any questions you want to ask about anything?
Anything?
No, mainly craft.
No, anything.
Well, it's Essentials Corner, it's not, you know.
No, it could be like a crafty version of Vanessa or Trisha or something like that. We could just sit there.
I don't want to do that. Ask the questions about him. No, crafty questions. Anything about anything on this show or anything that you're stuck with currently or need an answer to, ask, and we will hopefully do that in around about 35 minutes' time. In the meantime, let's have a short break. We'll see you in a mo.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right? Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What did she do?
Exactly how he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the products.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
A massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously, the people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for the lovely messages coming through. Loads of love for that last card as well. Beautiful card, says Mary Shaw. Sheila Faulkner says, stunning card, Craig. Thank you. Thank you. Crafty Chip says, OMG, can you imagine the carnage if these two got drunk together? It'd be fun, wouldn't it? It would be.
We're planning it.
Here we are. We were just talking about that in the break, actually, having our own little Christmas party, potentially. Karen, sorry to hear about your sad news, but thank you for your messages saying that we brightened your day up. So that makes us smile. So sorry to hear about your bad news, but glad that you're smiling with us. Debbie says, I love that set of Ornate dies available. You can grab them right now. And Jacqueline says, Ben and Craig, the best double comedy act on YouTube.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, right, Johnny. Johnny's gone, yeah, but just YouTube, not on TV. We are on TV. We are, aren't we? Because you can put, yeah, via YouTube, so on TV. And we were on QVC today. Proper TV, you know, proper satellite TV, being very well behaved. Although not as well behaved as I think we have been in the past.
No.
It was a bit more fun today, wasn't there?
Push the boundary a little times, yeah. Yeah.
Got a couple of yellow cards from producer
Johnny. Johnny had the dad voice at a couple of points. Johnny had the dad voice a couple of times. That's when you know you need to rein it back in. When Johnny brings out the dad voice, it's like, oh, don't go there.
Not going to do that.
Takes a lot for that to happen, but when you get there, you know.
Hi from Maryland, says Linda Armstead. Questions, please. We need questions. Fire some in. Come on. Questions, please, everybody. For for the last 20 minutes of the show. Can I just ask as well, obviously we didn't do a demo as such in the middle show because it's Crafty Stash. Will we be doing a demo of the show in this one?
No, I will have two. We're going to demo this and it'll be a full demo.
So we'll do the vote for that and the vote for the I've got Lily's card there from earlier, so we're all good. We're all good. Yellow cards from producer Johnny and the dad voice. I know, Susie. Oh no. It's amazing that we're mucking around so much as we are tonight. Anyway,
cheesy Pete.
The large outline. Are you right there?
Oh, I got a fright.
Sorry.
The large. Expect it to be actually like Jim Carrey there. Anyway.
Alrighty then. The large outline floral dies, 8-piece collection. Love these. We, do you remember when we had the original floral dies, which were a little bit smaller? I think there were only 3 of them initially, and I absolutely love them. And I always talk about this. It was just the simplest of demos that I saw when the smaller versions of these were brought out, where they were just cut out in black. I think it might have been Debbie. It was one of our amazing guys anyway. And then just creating an amazing like watercolour background, cutting out the florals in black and then whacking it over the top. Looked absolutely brilliant. And that's the kind of thing that you can do with these as well. Create your own backgrounds, layer these up, colour with these as well, of course. I just think these again are absolutely brilliant for you know, taking your tri-blends to, for doing your watercolouring with. If you want to do some paper piecing with these as well, these are fantastic. They're just such a versatile set of dies. Florals, you know, a definite big tick when it comes to your Crafty Stash as well. And you've got all of your kind of favourite florals in here, from cherry blossom right through to your hellebores. This one here, absolutely stunning, which is your anemones. Then we move on to the beautiful cosmos. I mean, that one's going to be coloured or paper piece, isn't it? It's going to look absolutely beautiful. This one here, oh, lilies. That could be a fuchsia, couldn't it? The way around. Yeah.
Could be.
So if you go the right way up, you go lily. If you go upside down, go back to the fuchsia.
Yeah, you could do it, yeah.
Peonies. Rose. I mean, have I seen, I'm getting a bit of deja vu here. Have I seen you colour this one already today at some point?
QVC UK.
Oh, this was on QVC.
And I'm waiting to do it again.
Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that.
You're not going cray.
Fantastic. You're going to see Craig colour this in just a second with these tri-blends. But again, paper piece me. Paper piece me. And this one here, I do remember it now because this is the one that Craig was calling the cornflower. Cornflower?
Should be written on the back.
Oh, coneflower, because this is the echinacea. And he's calling it the coneflower because I can't say echinacea.
Say it.
So,
Ekin-Sue from Love Island.
What?
Ekin-Sue from Love Island.
I don't know what you mean. That was what was her name?
Yeah, her name was Ekin-Sue.
Ekin-Sue?
Ekin-Sue. Turkish, I think, yeah. But when I see it written down, it just reminds me of Ekin-Sue, and I can say Ekin-Sue.
So I can't just say Ekin-Asia. Asia.
Echin-Aisha.
Echinacea.
Ekin.
Echinacea.
Echinacea.
No, Asia. Echinacea. No, he's drinking his tea now. Anyway.
I'm not performing monkey.
53.60 or 70.
Wow.
$70.
Sometimes. Depends who I'm on.
$53.60 or $70.40 is your price on this collection, and we're going to have a look at this. And I reckon Craig is going to be using the roses, and I reckon he's going to do some really marvellous colouring with them. That's my prediction.
Rightio, let's bring out the peonies, and we're going to use it on the foil press so we can show you how. No, foil press is Saturday, by the way. Saturday.
Yes.
That's going to be my official proper Craft Your Stash. That's my one on Saturday. So what I've got is I've got our white multi-purpose pen, and I've gone in on the back with our double-sided adhesive sheets again, because that's going to work an absolute treat when it comes to this set here. We're going to go in with the rose dye, and then we're just going to run it through. we're just going to tape it just to secure it. And what I'm doing is, because I've got my double-sided adhesive sheet, which has given me my adhesive layer and also my backing, I'm just putting my metal shim in there as well. It's just then going to make sure that the dye is going to go in and give it a crisp, clean cut through the card, but through the adhesive as well. So if I bring this out, we're just going to take this one out. You can always use these as a great aperture as well, floral aperture. Put acetate at the back, and then you come back and overlay again over the top if you want to. But I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm just going to take all of these components out. So I'm just going to get to that release hole and then prise that off. And then if we make sure, if we get all these little bits out first, so whether it is cardstock that's left or any of either backing, we're just going to make sure that we pop that out so we've got a nice clean outline. And then if we bring in our Nina cardstock, and because I've gone in with the double-sided adhesive backing, it means, of course, I can just take that all off, and then I can then pop it straight onto my card, press it in, and then we're going to do a little bit of colouring. But we'll afterwards, well, might not within this demo, do fussy cutting all the way around because I've got one already done. But all you're going to do is shortly, is you're just going to cut all the way round. But because you've got that ridged edge all the way round, you've got that kind of protective bumper, so to speak, so if it just glides with your scissors. But before we even do that, what we'll do is let's go in with our cardstock, just a little bit of cardstock underneath, and then we're going to start to do some colouring. So this morning I used our Tri-Blend brush pens. This one I'm just going to go in with my all-time favourite being the Tri-Blends. We're going to go in with the Coral blend here. And I'm going to do petal by petal. So don't worry about going over the lines of your die cut, because you're not actually going to end up seeing those lines. So it's just, again, refer to it as like a little bumper. It's a nice little bumper. It's a faux emboss line. So whereas you would maybe stamp and use your embossing powder and it gives you that lift and it gives you that raise, this is doing exactly the same, but instead of it being embossed layer, it is then just a die cut layer. So going in with that light tone, really saturating the Nina cardstock, and then we're going to flip to the opposite side. So we're going to go in, and then where we would have around the bases of each layer of petals, we're going to go in with that dark tone. So we're going to lay that colour in. Again, don't worry about that outline when it comes to the die cut, because you won't see that. And then with the Tri-Blends, we're just going to go and we're just going to cross over, and we're going to blend them out. So we're blending the dark into our initial light layer, and then we can then come along and finish off, and we're just going to finish off the end there with that light tone. And then if you feel as though it's still a little bit dark in areas, we can just give it a quick colour with that light tone. The lighter the pen, the more alcohol, so that means it's going to, of course, bleach out your colour. So we're going to go into the next one. And once again, we're just going to go in, we're going to lay down that light source to start with, Ben, and then I'm just going to do a couple of petals, and I'm just going to do them in the exact same way that I've just done a moment ago.
Karen says, you two are so entertaining together. I hate to miss even 1 minute of the show when you're on it. We love working together, Karen. Safe to say we have the best time. And thank you, everyone. I've seen questions coming through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some really good questions coming through, actually. And you asked for questions about anything, Craig. Oh. Our viewers are going to be getting a bit nosy tonight. I can see some of the questions coming through. Susie's just sending them through in the meantime so I can sort of vet them. Just check. There's some really good questions coming through tonight. Anything you want to ask, Craig, me, about, anything in general? Anything. Yeah. But, obviously Beautiful Beginnings is here mainly for those sort of crafty questions, so beginners as well. If you've got a question, I always say this in the show, maybe you watch the other shows and you're thinking, surrounded by loads of experienced crafters and loads of experienced viewers, I've got a question I'd love to ask, but I think it's a silly question. What do we say, Craig?
There's no such thing as a silly question.
No, because if you don't know the answer, then it needs to be answered, and we were all kind of, starting off as a beginner once. So even if you think it's the most silliest question in the world, ask it, because chances are someone will have probably asked that question at some point anyway. And like we always say, you know what, even if we're not on, maybe you're doing some crafting or maybe you've got a question, our Facebook pages and the live shows. We've got so many great viewers, and of course, you know, our social team as well. So good at answering those questions as well. So never be afraid to ask. You know, we really, really love those questions coming through. Mike Adams says, if you're down in the dumps and feeling low, just watch Ben and Craig. What a pick-me-up, says Michael.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you. We are lucky that we get on.
Always got on like a house on fire, haven't we?
But yeah, we always have.
How many years has it been now? I've got it noted down in my diary. I think it's 4 years now, we've known each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you know what today is for me?
Oh, yes, chat about this, please. And where's the picture?
Can we show it, Johnny?
I don't see any reason why not. Have you got it?
I've got it on my phone.
So you said, this is so sweet. Did you only find this out in the break then? Because we were sort of all sat down and then Craig all of a sudden just went, oh my goodness, you know, I've just realised, and I'll let him tell you because it's not my story.
Yeah. So.
What happened?
So 10 years ago today, I made my very, very, very first TV appearance on TV.
Look at him!
And it was a different channel at the time. Many of you will know that I'd done a little bit of work for Tonic in the day.
There's Jodie, who you guys will know.
That's Jodie. So Jodie, of course, has been here. But that's 10 years. That was my very, very, very first ever TV appearance when it comes to, well, TV appearance ever.
I mean this in the nicest possible way, but that looks more than 10 years ago. You look so young. You look about 16.
So I would have been, so I'm 38 now, so I would have been 28.
Mate, you do not look 28 in that photo.
Yeah.
Johnny said you look about 8. You look like you're in your teens.
Yeah, no.
That's incredible.
So you can see there. How crazy is that? How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Susie there just said, oh my God, Craig, you look so young. So that is, so today, when it comes to craft as a whole, obviously I've done a little bit of work with Tonic, a little bit with Hunky Dory, Dawn, and then I've spent my time here.
10 years in TV today?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow. So you've been doing it, I've been, a little bit, not quite as long as me, but yeah, August 2012 I started, not in craft, but yeah. Wow, so you
mental, isn't it?
October 2013. Johnny, when did you start in TV, Johnny? 2006. What about you, Charlotte? 2018. Oh, so you're just like a TV baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
So cute, says Jean Prescott. Cindy says, Craig, cute.
Ah.
It's funny seeing you actually like that, because I think I've always known you with at least a bit of facial fuzz and a beard. Yeah.
Yep. It's crazy, isn't it?
Crazy how young you look when you don't have a beard. Is that why you keep it? Would you shave it off or not now?
No. Because even if I go really, really close shaven, even I'm not too keen on that, like a little bit of length to it. Yeah, I'm used to it now. I've maybe had this maybe 6 years, 7 years now, and I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, there we go. It's my 10th anniversary on Shopping TV. And who would have thought? So 20 odd years ago, when I started as a crafter because of QVC. Who would have thought that then 20 odd years later, you know, roles are reversed, now QVC Extra, and I'm doing what I'm doing here with Sarah and the team and you guys.
Crazy, isn't it?
Crazy.
Never would have thought it, would you, 20 years ago?
No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have. It's amazing.
Christine says, no way, you look like you were between 12 and 16 in that photo.
Yeah, no, so it was 10 years ago, so it came up on my memories on Facebook 10 years ago. And obviously we're 2023, so yeah, it's 2013. It's mental.
There you go.
Mental.
Happy anniversary, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, on that note there, what we've done is I've gone in and then I've gone and done some colouring. And then this is what it's going to look like. Now, the only difference is I used the antique pink blend. So instead of using the coral blend that I've used there, we've used the antique pink blend. And we've just fussy cut all the way around. So we've just come along and then we've just followed those outlines. So following it along, working your way in, and then you're just going to continue until you fussy cut all the way around. Then what we would do, Ben, is we would then come along with a piece of our cardstock. So this is just our gold luxury cardstock, and use that same die to die cut. And this is what we're going to be left with. We're going to be left with the gold that we can see with that rose outline. So you could have popped that on your Nina and then coloured that. That would have worked a treat for sure. But I think it's just so effective by doing the way that I've done it. So I'm going to go over with my dotted tape runner. You can, of course, use your double-sided adhesive sheets again. I'm just conscious of time, so therefore we're just going to use the one that I've already cut. If you're using your dotted tape runner on anything like this, do be careful because it is a very delicate die cut.
Yeah.
So we're just going to then add that on. And then because we've coloured over the lines, it looks a little bit of a mess, although I quite like that rustic sort of look to it, even though I've gone over the lines. But what happens, Ben, is when you come along and then you pop that straight over the top and then press that into play, pop it in, hold, move, and then press that in. And how much does that elevate?
Incredible, that.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
So all that we need to do is bring in our card blank, so 6x6 card, and what I've done is I've then just done a fold back. So if I take my double-sided tape off here, add this in, add it into place. So let's get that so that the roses are in the corner, top corner. I'm going to bring that in. So that was from the Vintage Rose 12x12 paper pad. Add our strip here to the side as well. So if I take that off, don't forget as well the tissue tape and finger lift tape I talked you through on the Craft Your Stash yesterday with Glue School. And then what we'll pop a little oval. So little oval nesting die with the white and then the gold. I pop a little bit of foam pad, take the back end off. That's then good. That's going to go there. So we're starting to create that fold back. We're then going to come in with our backdrop that we've just created there. If I bring in a foam pad, bring in my foam pad, add that on, creating that lift, and then taking that and moving it into position. And I've got a little thanks a bunch, little topper that we've got here. That's then going to go into there. And then what we're going to go and do is bring in our tape. I've got a little bow that I've just tied there that's going to go into there. It's a little pink bow. And then there we go. We've then got our fold back, using the outline dies. And then, of course, you can colour until your heart's content.
Absolutely love that. Thank you so much for all the questions coming through. We will do Essentials Corner shortly. Love that rose, says Carol Garwood Beard. You are so talented. Can I come and craft with you, says Carol. I'd love to do that one day. One day, get like live studio audiences in. That would be amazing. Get a few of you sat in watching. I mean, don't get excited because it's not happening, but one day maybe. One day. What was that? Noise, it was a funny noise. I'm not quite sure what that was. Just caught me off guard a little bit there. Let's quickly show you the large outline floral dies you're going to be getting within this set. So you're going to get, with a $12.92, $15.60 saving, all of these. So you get 8 in total. You're going to get your echinaceas. I just apologise if you heard. We didn't think. I saw his mic was down. If you heard a bit of windy pops just a few moments ago, It was him. I really apologise for that. He just did a little, it was this end, thankfully. But that was what that was. Sorry. Passing you. It was so loud. I heard it. I thought the mic was down. Don't play it back. I'm playing it back in my ear. Just checking. Oh, I got to stop laughing, please, because my stomach is hurting me. Oh, Crafty Chimp says, pardon you. And there's so many laughing emojis coming through. Quickly look at these and we're going to have to go for a break. So, you're going to get your echinacea. You're going to get your roses. Peonies. It was a burp as well, by the way. It was this end, not a lilies. You're going to get cosmos. This is the anemones, otherwise known as the windflower, apparently. There you go, Craig. That's your favourite one. You've also got the hellebores. And then, cherry blossom, $53.60, $70.40. Put it together, men, says Carolyn C. And Tina Rose says, better out than in, eh, Craig? I tell you what, better have a break, I think, is what we better do here whilst we pull ourselves together. We will see you back here, if we haven't been fired, in about 4 minutes.
A few weeks ago on the show, we were talking about places where all you guys lived. We might have used Google Earth just to have a bit of a sneaky look at the village, town, or city that you lived in. And I thought it might be quite funny if I wrote a little ditty and I put on my Facebook page, where do y'all live? And I'll put your towns and cities and village into my little song. But I didn't realize that there would be about 425 responses. So I'm gonna cram as many places into this song as I can, but I won't get them all in. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man, we craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man, we craft everywhere. We craft in Lydney, Lynbrook, Launceston, Lehana, Tampa, Darlington, Almond Beach, Sedalia, Wills Point, Widnes, Wildwood, Wildham, Archer, Jackwell Lake, Walkerburn, Yate, Bay, Hesperia, Sublimity, Pinhole, Avon, Freeport, Mableton, San Jose, Annam, Great Bend, Detroit, Keniston. We craft everywhere, man, we craft everywhere. From over here to there, man, we craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man, we craft everywhere. Crafting Parachute, Paradise, Pollux, Papillion, Sheets of Bay, St. Petersburg, Seacon, Sutton, Saturday, Bristol, Brighton, Brooklyn, Blackwood, Barnsley, Tide Squeeze, South Shields, Tampa Hills and Bentley, Tampa, Pillar, Tucumcari, Cary, Ottawa, Hull, Harrisburg, Lexington, Tupelo, Cincinnati, Austinburg. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Loxahatchee, Lakesville, Lawrence, Lacey, Livermore, Albuquerque, Weeki-Wachee, Pensacola, Ellsworth, Port, Mechanicsburg, Williamsburg, Rebella, Houston, Burlington, Wet Wang, Market, Drayton, Yale, Medford, Wellington, Wapakoneta, Homer, Sassa, Santa Rosa, Wichita, Honolulu, Riverdale, Melbourne, Commerce, Fentanyl. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Newton Abbey, Richmond, Dudley, Georgetown, East Kilbride, Eugene, Ferrum, Rhinewood, Walkerstown, Ewaheim, Fort Wayne, Gloucester, Chester, Long Beach, Raphael, St. Dominic, St. Cloud, St. Augustine Beach, Sand Springs, Romford, Tulsa, Traverse City, Wesley Chapel, Ballarat, Medina, Ramble City. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Sawbrook, Tucson, Kissimmee, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Biloxi, Latte, Elmira, Glendale, Scottsdale, Anchorage, and Hurtville, Seattle, Gold Canyon, Ipswich, Cumberland, Unionville, Toledo, Miami, Atlanta, Cleveland, Gold Canyon, Altoona, Calounda, Port Orange, Glover, Rising Sun. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. And there's a few more places I didn't manage to get into the song. West Runton, Newcastle, Kingswood, Sandbach, Carlisle, Bewdley, Albury, Durham, Springfield, Ashington. We crafted Greenville, Lincoln, Nebraska, Sumter, Oak Park, Winchester, Knapp Hill, Stoke-on-Trent, Mount Pocono, Greenville, Charlotte, Oxon Hill, Tunbridge Wells, Modesto, Haverhill, Sierra Vista, Arecibo, Morgantown, O'Fallon, Aurora, Black Forest. We crafted Hermiston, Brownsburg, Henderson, Socorro, Fort Myers, Mandenholm, Hilliard, Farmingdale, East Moline, Summers Point, Calgary, Charleston, Sawston, Malden, Galloway, Fitchburg, Hopewell, Aberdeen, Winstead, Castlewood, Chatsworth, Limestone, Victoria, Willoughby, Rockland, Canton, Falmouth, Conestoga, Lyndhurst, Ashbourne, and Cluj-Napoca. Oh yeah.
Are you ready to find your sparkle? Well, grab your dancing shoes because we are going all out for our 18th birthday. Join us from the 9th to the 22nd of October to shine brighter than a disco ball. Everyone's invited, so shimmy on over to the new Crafters Companion website and get ready for the hottest party in town.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right?
Yeah.
Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly
what
how
does she do?
he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh dear. Whew. No, I'm not going to play it again, Charlotte. No, because that has been very, very childish. Carolyn says, more fodder for Ben's recap. That's literally, I think, going to be the only thing going to be on my wrap-up this week, is that over and over and over and over again. Oh, dear. Lillian says, just like the other day when Craig pretended it was a truck outside. Oh, that was a truck,
that was
it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a truck. That was Mr. Windy Pots there. Now, I tell you what we're going to do. We're over in Essentials Corner. We've got about 20 minutes or so to go on the show, if they don't take us off. We'll get the vote going for the demo of the show. Then we'll start doing your questions, and if we kind of like run short of questions, we've got the ink pads to chat around and the hero tool, which is the Centura Pearl. We've got some great scissors on the show as well, so we can chat around some of the products for you. But in the meantime, if you think of a question, ask us now. We're here. Some brilliant questions coming through. Do you, Craig, very quickly, if you can, without being too windy, do you want to show us the two cards that you made so everyone can get voting for their favourite?
Oh gosh, oh dearie me, dearie me. Rightio, here we go. I do apologise, guys. Rightio, we've got two to go for. So we done our first one with our Duet Inkpads here. So we've done a little bit of full bleaching, spritzing, and we created our backdrop that we can see here. So that is number one. And then number two, we just used our outline dies. So our outline dies, we've done a little bit of colouring inside there that says happy birthday. So that one there, you've got one or two. So that is number one or number two. Number one or number two.
I reckon you've got about 5 minutes if you want to get your voting on that. Well, actually, I don't know. They're very different, aren't they? And the technique behind the two of them. And the winner of that, of course, will be up against Lily's card from Wake Up Call earlier on this morning. Right, questions, first of all. This is what we do in Essentials Corner. Feel free to add, but this is the list of ones that I've got through so far. So, Karen wants to know, Craig, how do you decide where to put your sentiments on the front of your cards? That's a good question.
That's a really good question, really good question. So what I tend to do is, and I know I explain this periodically, you know, on certain shows. So if I have my main image, my main topper in the front of my card, so whether it's a stamped image, whether it is a topper, etc., what I tend to do is then I'll tend to pop my sentiment down in the bottom right-hand corner. And then in the top left-hand corner, what I'll maybe do is like a bow or something like that. So visually on the eye, you're going at an angle. What I'll sometimes do, and we've talked about it in the past as well, sometimes we'll have a big sentiment stamp or a die that does the talking for you.
Yeah.
So for instance, our chalkboard sentiment stamps, that is a topper and a sentiment in one. So I tend to just have that in the middle and on its own. But if you are having something as a main visual, such as a topper in the centre of your card, I tend to put my sentiment down to the bottom right-hand corner of the card.
Great question. This next one's more of a demo. If we've got one to hand, Craig might be able to show us. But Dawn's asking, he says, please can you demo how to change out the bristles of a die brush? Is that something you can explain? Changing the little head over?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll grab you one in a minute.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
Right, we'll do that. We'll do that in a minute.
Or is there any? I know there's some questions. Are there additional comments, and I can just nip round by the camera behind and.
Well, if you want to go and grab it, I can certainly chat for a second.
Right. Yeah. Let's do it then.
That's what I do. Okay. So you go. That's it, and pretend that's it. You keep going around there. Yeah, so keep firing the questions in. And again, if there's anything that you want to say, I know we've only got 20 minutes or so left, but please do ask, and we will tackle those questions over the course of the next 20 minutes. As I said, we will, if we've got time, be looking at those Duet Inkpads once again, plus the Centura Pearl. That Centura Pearl, by the way, is the hero tool this evening, so that is a deal only available for 24 hours, well, I say while stocks last, stocks will last, but just for 24 hours, that one, you're going to get 80 seats within that collection for just £19.20 or $32, 8 different colours, 10 sheets of each. So if you like the idea of that, it's kind of core craft room cardstock, really, isn't it? Absolutely worth stocking up on that. The colours, again, just to show you, are your deep purple. You've got your dark chocolat, Christmas green, turquoise, baby blue, Christmas red, lilac, mint green. There you go. 8 different colours, 10 sheets of each, giving you 8 sheets, £19.20 or $32. Nicely filled, Ben, nicely filled. Right, so Dawn says, can you please demo how to change out the bristles of a die brush? This is for you, Dawn Bishop.
Absolutely, of course I can. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your die brush and then you're just going to hold it or you're just going to pinch it and then you're just going to prise the side off. So there is one side that works better than the other, so you're just going to then slightly manipulate that. Now you're not going to be doing it in midair like I'm doing here. So all that we're going to do is we're just going to then prise that out.
Yeah.
There's a big chunk of glue at the side, that's why that's got that one going. So we're just going to prise that one out and then it just then brings out, see I've got the glue at that side here. Don't have glue or something at the side, there we go.
Okay.
So then you're just going to then take it out, you're going to be left with that, and then all that you're going to do is you're going to take your next one, your replacement head, and then you're just going to then lift up the side, and then it's just going to lock into place like so.
Do you know what, I'm glad that you did that, because I think a few people have said that that head was actually, you know, getting a little bit soft, so good job that you changed it.
I did, yeah.
How did you change them over?
Do you know something? That's a very, very good question. Thank you. Because a lot of people, I know I've said this in the past, but a lot of people seem to think that you don't change the head until all the bristles fall out. That's not the case. They're not necessarily all going to fall out. What's going to happen is over time, the more you use it, the bristles actually curve in on themselves. So therefore, they're not going through, they're not clearing out your die, because of course, the bristles aren't poking out into the release hole. So, you know, just keep an eye out. If you find that your die brush isn't working, then it's going to be the time to, of course, change the bristle head so that they're nice, they're straight, they're sturdy. Do what I've just done there. And then, yeah, I can see there that these are starting to curve in on each other. These are nice and strong and straight, so therefore we're going to be good to go in future.
There you go, Dawn. Thank you for your question. I tell you what, loads more questions coming in. Before we tackle those, should we do the result for demo of the show and get demo of the day going? Yep, it's through. The demo of the show goes to Number 2.
Number 2.
Not surprised. That is a really, really cracking card, that, to be fair.
A nice one. Don't you worry, Charlotte. I've got you covered with another one.
So it's Lily versus Craig. So that, oh, they are both cracking cards, aren't they? So one is from Wake Up Call this morning. That's with the Ornate nesting dice.
Ornate nesting dice, yeah.
Yeah.
So number one, which is an absolute beaut, isn't it? I love the way that Lily has twisted that centre die within the middle there with the celebrate, and then number two with the outline die that you can see there. So you got, actually we're going with quite similar colourways as well. So number one was Lily and number two is myself, both of which, in my opinion, are both worthy winners.
They are, but so to you.
It's entirely up to yourselves.
5 minutes to vote on that. Some good questions, so let's get into these then. So Carolyn Zano says, what influenced you both to seek work at Crafters Companion? Do you wanna go first? So how did you end up here?
They seeked me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seeked me.
Yeah.
I'd always had there's two companies in the craft industry that I thought, if I work with either one of those, then that's me set for life. The main one was Crafters Companion.
Yeah.
And Sarah came looking for me.
That's sort of the same for me, really.
Yeah.
So I used to work elsewhere, as Craig did, and I think a few of you know, but obviously we used to work in radio, and I was made redundant from my radio job because our small radio station was bought out by a bigger company, so all the presenters were made redundant. And at the time, I was working as a freelance presenter for another channel, so I'd worked with Sarah. It's where I'd met all of the Crafters Companion guys, and I always used to, same as you, I used to love work whenever I was with like Crafters Companion. Always a great day. Hunky dory, exactly the same, because like the product's brilliant. Loved all of the demonstrators, and they talk about serendipity. Basically, the night that I found out that I was being made redundant from the radio and all of my freelance work was drying up, I can still remember it now. I sat in bed on my phone, just like scrolling through messages, thinking like, who am I going to contact? Like, who can I get in touch with to find work? And all of a sudden, a message from Sarah popped up on Facebook, because I worked with her a few times. She said, "Oh, you're doing this thing called Crafters TV. We're looking for another presenter. Do you want to come and try out?" And it happened that night that I found out that I was being made redundant. That's how it happened to me. Yeah, which was unbelievable.
Yeah. And as a whole, I remember telling you this, as a whole team, you know, as the channel continued to grow, and we were like, right, we want to bring on another presenter. In an ideal world, of all the presenters that's out there, who would we love? Every one of us said you. Every one of us said you, because we'd all enjoyed working with you. Never in a million years thought we would get you. Never in a million years did we think we'd get you, but obviously we did. And then look at this now,
And the hilarious thing as well was, so you and I were working at the other place together, weren't we? And it was around the time that I knew that I was going to be coming here, but I couldn't say anything because I was still working at the other place, sort of like working out my notice.
And you didn't know if I knew or not.
No. So we had this really awkward conversation of like me going, oh, I'm sort of out of work now. I don't know what I'm going to do, knowing that I wasn't out of work.
And I knew that he was going to be coming.
Yeah. So it was like, I was wondering if he knows. So you knew that I was coming, but I didn't know that you knew.
That's it.
And so it was a really weird conversation.
I was like, I'm sure something's bound to come up.
Yeah.
You know, you're really popular, Ben, and I know something will definitely happen. And you're like, I'm optimistic, and you should be. It was in the corridor as well. It was outside their green room. It was so awkward.
And here we are now. But no, both very blessed to be here.
So blessed.
Brilliant place to work. Karen says, Craig, how long did it take you to learn how to get your mats and layers on a card base so perfect?
Gosh, don't know if I could put a time on that. It's just something that I just done. You know, the more that I've done it, the more that I've seemed to just nail the layering of it. The main thing is, as I always say, it's the guillotine. The guillotine, that's what's given me the precise mats and layers. As long as your cardstock is straight, which I've shown you, not always is your cardstock completely, when it comes to A4 or any size, it's not always completely like at a 90-degree at a corner. So as long as you're starting it off at an accurate 90-degree corner on your cardstock, and then you follow your quarter of an inches, and then, you know, if you aren't, you know, overly comfortable about getting the layers straight on with a dry adhesive like I do, this is when things come in like your tacky glue or your all-purpose glue, depending on the cardstock that we showed you yesterday. So I can't really give a timeline on that one. It was just the more and more that I've done it, the more that, you know, practice makes perfect.
Craig, how big is your craft room, says Carolyn? pretty big. Oh, actually, it's not like massive, is it?
It's not massive. It's not massive.
It's very organised.
Yeah. So when I first moved into my house, I had like the box room as my craft room, and then it's about 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, I moved into it because I was resisting putting my craft room into my main spare room because I was like, well, what happens if your family or friend come to stay? Very rarely do they stay, and I just felt it was a waste of the main spare room. So yeah, about 2 years ago, I'd moved my craft room into my main spare room, and then what is my box room, just earlier on this year, I decorated it, got a sofa bed and all that, so that's now my little spare room for like my mum and John, or if any friends. Not that any of my friends have ever come down in the 4.5 years that I've lived here.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
I know. Their loss.
Exactly.
I've got a good garden.
Yeah, I've got a good
big decking.
With a big decking, yeah. Mistress Dow says, with those sticky sheets, could you do a batch of tiddly fiddly embellishments to use over a number of weeks? The sticky sheets, so like the
double-sided adhesive sheets,
so could you like cut? So I suppose the question is, do you have to then if you did loads and loads, could you like peel a few off? I think that's the question, and then save some. Are they going to store okay if you come back to them?
Yeah, so you could do what I done there, cut out the floral, and obviously I peeled the backing off and stuck it down. Then yeah, die cut them, just don't peel the backing off, just maybe store them in a little envelope or a little pocket or something until you're ready for you to then attach them to whatever project. So yeah, if you want to do your batch making, start to cut, pop your adhesive layer on the back, cut them, and then just store them for you to then use down the line. Yeah, of course you can.
I'm going to bundle these two questions together. So, Stephanie, thank you for your question, and Cynthia, because it's all to do with the glitter sprays. So, Stephanie's basically having a few problems. She says, I followed Leanne's tutorial on glitter sprays and their maintenance. She says, after cleaning and I think removing the mica, I tried to spray again, and it stops after 2 pumps and a pretty good spray. What am I doing wrong, or does this particular sprayer need to be replaced? And then to kind of further that, Cynthia's asking, how do you store glitter sprays? Because I'm kind of thinking, I wonder whether Stephanie's perhaps not storing them correctly, do you think?
So what I would recommend is if you store them on their side. So if you store them on your side, because if you store them on the bottom, then you're going to get that clumps of shimmer that's just going to sit there at the bottom. Now you start to shake it and add, what that's going to do is that's going to agitate it, which can actually make it start to then clump within the little chamber bit, the little spritz chamber. So therefore, if you store them on your side, then that's got more of a larger surface area for, of course, the shimmer to settle. You even just give it a light little roll, just so that the shimmer starts to then twist around. What I would say, as far as like the wear and tear and the uses, if you followed what Leanne was telling you to the T and it's still not working, pop customer service an email, and hopefully they'll put a couple of replacement spritz just in the post for you.
And you say when you're using them, so you've stored them correctly, you pick them up to use them. Are you giving them a bit of a shake before you start to use them, or just more of a swirl?
I would give it, so if you've got them sitting on their sides, if you've got the bottles on the sides, then I would just give them a light roll, just so that you've got all of the solution, you've got all of the shimmer that's then just starting to then twist around, like a lava lamp that just starts to form down. Because if you've got it all sitting down in a smaller area, if you've got the bottle upright, what you need to then do is to get all that activated, you need to shake that. You can't roll it when it's sitting on its base, you need to give it a shake. That's when you're going to get the air, you're going to get the bubbles, and then that's when it can start to clump. So therefore, if you sit it on its side, then it's got more of that larger surface for it to then layer, and there's giving it a roll, it's then just going to start to swirl it about.
3 good questions here, and then the result for the demo of the day. Karen says, Craig, when you first started crafting, did your ideas for cards and things come automatically right away? So did you always have loads of ideas, or did you have to kind of, I don't know, think a little bit more when you first started?
My cards were shocking.
Well, I bet they weren't.
Absolutely, shockingly diabolical.
No.
When I first started, absolutely.
Were they?
Absolutely,
you got any pictures?
Absolutely. I don't know, actually. I don't know.
Why were they so bad? Inexperience, was it?
Do you know something? It could be as I've progressed, and I look back on, we're always our own worst critic, aren't we? And everything, it's practicing, isn't it? The more you do something, the more you start to perfect and refine on your style. So just thinking back, I really, vaguely from what I remember and make, I didn't like what I made. But, oh gosh, but even now, it can take me half a day, can take me longer than that for what we say prep pack, one demo.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to think what we're going to do, what we're going to incorporate, the style of it, and then we kind of need to double prep it because we need to have elements so that if we've not got a lot of time on the show, we can speed the demo up. If we've got a little bit extra time, then of course we can pace it out. So yeah, sometimes I can get to the end of the night, we've done one demo pack and I'm still not happy. So if I'm not happy, move it to the side, leave it, forget about it, come back the next day with fresh eyes.
I suppose it's anything, isn't it? If you're trying to be creative, some days it's easier than others. Like some days the ideas flow and other days you get a little bit stuck, don't you?
Yeah, and the prime example is, as well is because I've been doing a lot more Crafters Companion videos on my Craig Laird Crafters Companion YouTube channel. I don't edit them, Ben. I don't edit them. So if I'm at a bit of a loss as to what I'm going to do and what I'm going to make and what I'm going to pop on, you see me.
Yeah, yeah.
There's times I'm just sitting, you can vouch for me, there's times I'm just sitting in my chair in my craft room thinking, right, no, I don't like that, I'm not happy, no, not, oh, I'm going to rip that off, I'm going to tear that off. And you see me doing it, and that's the way that any of us craft. You know, it doesn't come to us straight away. It could take us ages sometimes. I can sometimes have a day and I can bang out 2, 3, 4 demos because the ideas are there, and then you can have days on end where nothing, mind blank.
2 more questions. One here which says, Craig, you may have answered this before, but I forget. Do you decide your pattern cardstock on your die design, or do you pick out your die design first and then decide on your pattern cardstock?
So usually, you know, you probably notice with my style is I don't always use pattern papers. I tend to use block cardstock. So usually I've got a colour in mind that I like. So I like a colour in mind. And then what I'll do is then I'll go to the die. So usually, yeah, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So say I knew that the Ornate nesting dies were on. So right, I have to do something with the Ornate nesting dies. I know I'm going to be using them. Right, do I have a style? Do I have a colour? 9 times out of 10, it's like, right, oh, I quite fancy doing black and lilac. So then I'll take black and lilac, I'll take the dies, and then I'll start to work around that. I'll start to die cut together. Maybe I'll add some pattern paper. If I do, then I choose the pattern paper that's going to work with the black and lilac of the colour theme. So usually I've got the product that I know that I'm going to be using, and I've got a colour theme in mind, and then I work all the rest around that, the pattern paper, the embellishments, the ribbons, gems, anything like that.
Great question. Stephanie said, this is an enlightening chat. I love it. It's good, isn't it? It's good. That's why we love doing this. And we'll continue to do them in Beautiful Beginnings. This is a great question. It's probably be the last one now, I think, and then we'll do the demo of the day. Crafty Stacey Lou says, Craig, you are on a desert island. Which 3 craft goodies would you take? That is a good question.
Really good question. So, Junior.
Yeah, we're assuming you've got electricity.
Well, yeah. So Junior, foil press.
And you take one more.
Guillotine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we're assuming like he's got, maybe he can cut palm leaves, says producer Johnny.
Yeah.
You need to take like a little craft kit with you as well, wouldn't you? Like one of our craft kits or one of like the boxes that we do.
Yeah, but then I'd need see, this is one of those. It's this continuation because it's fair enough. So Charlotte's saying about what am I going to cut, but then when it comes to the foil press, I would need to take cardstock. I'd need to take foil, of course. So yeah, maybe craft knife, scissors. Although I could always just break the arm off the guillotine and use it, you know, when it comes to
like,
the coconuts and stuff like
coconuts.
that. Yeah,
that's a good thought actually, because you need to survive and craft, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you're on a desert island, you'd be crafting, but you'd also be like surviving, wouldn't you? Yeah.
That could be a new Channel 4 show, isn't it? Craft and survive. Yeah, need to get to the top of this mountain. Let me just do my decoupage for a little minute, and then we can carry on. We can get to the top.
That is it. Yeah, Craig's been set the challenge of getting to the top of this mountain, but creating a beautiful decoupage Matt and Laird card in half an hour. Oh dear. Thank you for all those questions, everybody.
Thank you.
Really, really enjoyed that. It's been fun. Demo of the day. That's you, that is.
That's me.
That is a beautiful card.
That's me.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well done, mister. Thoroughly enjoyed that today. When are you back?
So I'm going to be back on Saturday. I'm going to be back on Saturday, me and Corin, so I'm going to be all day on the demonstrating side. It's going to be my official Craft Your Stash. So it's going to be all about the foil press. So we're going to have the foil press. That's going to be in the middle of the day. Play your crafts right at the start of the day. And don't ask me what we've got at the end of the day on Saturday, because I can't remember. But I'm going to be back on Saturday.
We look forward to that. I'm in tomorrow, but doing some undercover secret filming. I'm back with you. I'm back with you on Crafters TV on Friday with Debbie Robinson. I'm looking forward to that. We've got a Craft Your Stash special on the Ultimate Pro. What are we doing in the evening? Can't remember. I'm also going to be on QVC Extra with Debbie Fisher on Friday for our UK viewers as well. And tomorrow, it's Colour Me Happy Friday night. There we go. And then tomorrow there is a Craft House special. No wake-up call. Oh, yes, Creative are here with Leanne and Debbie Fisher. That is going to be unbelievable. You guys have loved the Creative products previously, so stand by for that. Then it is an Inkpads, Craft Your Stash. And then it's cartload, of course, tomorrow, with it being Thursday. It is a double D cartload tomorrow. Debbie Robinson, Debbie Fisher, so you know that is going to be a must-watch. Plus, there might be something a little bit sneaky coming your way tomorrow if you shop with us. I won't say much more than that. You'll have to tune in and shop. But thank you so much for watching. Have a brilliant rest of your Wednesday. Thank you to all the team today. They've been working super hard behind the scenes. I'll see you Friday. It'll see you Saturday. Until then, bye for now.
Toodles.